Hello, everyone, and yes, it is that time yet again. It is another episode of Explicit Materia. Yes, that's right, that podcast where a nerdy drummer, myself, Shane Wise, talks to his friends about things and stuff and other things. That's right. You can follow me on Twitter at the WiseDrums, Instagram at WiseDrums, Facebook WiseDrums, or Explicit Materia, and of course subscribe to YouTube.com/WiseDrums, where I post clips of this podcast and other stuff, like my video explaining my thoughts on the easy mode debate that video games like Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Dark Souls, those kind of games have. So check that out when you get a chance. As always, if you're easily offended by any controversial / satirical or seemingly offensive material, please move on. This podcast is not for you. Any disagreements you might have with the points presented, or you just want to talk, you want to say, hey, I agree with what you said, I'd love to hear what you have to say via Twitter or the YouTube comment section. Today's guest is April Harrington. She's a good friend, real estate agent, a really good one, in fact. She was actually our real estate agent, and she went through hell and high water to find us a house here in Nashville during the crazy housing boom here. So we are eternally grateful to her. Seriously, guys, if you guys live in here in Nashville, you need to check out yourdestinationfinders.com and get in touch with April and get yourself a house if you're looking, because she's the best, hands down. But not only are we grateful to her for this house, we are also grateful to her for letting us adopt our little mini dachshund pig from her. She has inadvertently bred around 27 mini dachshunds. She's not a breeder. She just lets them do their thing, and she lets friends and family adopt the pups into their loving homes. And she'll hold parties with all the Weenie dog families, and they bring all their dogs, and it's like crazy house. Have you ever been in a house with 27 mini dachshunds running around? It's the cutest thing in the world. Also a little crazy. Anyway, we talk about her love for her job and her love for animals, amongst other things. It was a fun conversation with a really good friend, so without further ado, here's April Harrington. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I've been starting the podcast with ladies and gentlemen. It's so lame.
Are you like on right now?
I am. We just start. Wow. Yeah, I just start. So it is a very special episode of the podcast because I have with us today the person responsible for our little dog named Pig. Look at him. Just look at him.
That's the dude. Like if the dude was a wiener dog. It's the dude. Hey, Pig.
How many weenie dogs do you have at your house right now?
I have 4 at home right now, and we own 6 total. So my mom has 2 in Alabama, and we have 4 in Old Hickory.
Okay. Do me a favor. This is where you want to be, right here. Sorry, I should have told you before we started.
Okay.
This is where you want to talk, right around there. Sorry.
All right, good enough.
Yeah, right around there.
Can I move it?
Yeah, you can move it. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
That's totally fine. Sorry. So you have 4 dogs.
Yep.
And would you call yourself a breeder? Would you breed the miniature dachshunds, or you just?
I don't think that I can legitimately call myself a breeder because I've never assisted in that process. Like I've never, bred my dogs.
So you just sort of fell into it.
They just
started
do that, and then I have puppies. And lucky for me, I've had really close friends and family that come into my life and want weenie dogs too.
Yeah, and so how many weenie dogs have you sent for adopted? Not adopted, but
I believe the weenie family is. Gosh, I wish I would have looked into this first. I want to say we're around 26 weenies
26 weenie dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're miniature, right? They're all miniature?
Yeah. And half the problem with it is that once you have one, people get more than one. So we have a lot of collectors of weenie dogs.
What is it about wiener dogs? What is it about weenie dogs?
I don't know.
It's just so adorable.
Honestly, it's just, I don't know if you just kind of feel sorry for them. Because their legs are so small.
And their body is so long.
Yeah.
Well, Pig's not that long. Pig is actually kind of stocky for being a weenie dog.
He is. He's legit. He's ready for war.
He's ready.
That's what I call him.
He's a smart dog too. I was actually really impressed with how smart that dog is. And I had a black lab growing up.
Oh,
or
wow.
he was a mix. He was a mix of a black lab and a Norwegian elk hound.
Wow.
Which is like a kind of small looking fox wolf kind of looking thing. They don't really run that big, but he was like a very furry, very puffy black lab, and he was really smart.
Yeah.
And his mom was smart too, because they would just let her out in the wilderness, and she would always just come back. And often she would bring like dead animals to the front door. And she'd be like, look what I brought you.
Yeah, Rojito Bandito has done that before. He killed a mole one time and ripped its arm off and then brought me the remainder. So I had a 3-legged mole that he had killed. I don't
a cat.
Similar, yeah. Here's treasures.
Yeah, maybe that's why people like the miniature dachshunds so much, because they, like, with Pig, he'll just climb on our lap, and it's always when we're doing something, like cats do. Cats know when you're doing something very important, trying to get some work done on your laptop, and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta get it. And the cat walks all over your laptop, and you're like, God dang it, sprinkles.
I don't mean to like project emotion on animals, but I think that a cat does that because they're vindictive and evil. And a weenie dog does it.
I agree. I am not a cat person.
I think that a weenie dog does it because they genuinely want to help you tie your shoes. Whatever that is that you're doing, they want to help you.
I want to help. Can I help?
Can I help? Can I help? And it's not helping at all, but it's adorable.
Pig helps us when we're like putting stuff in boxes or whatever. He'll get his ball and put the ball in the box. And look, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pig. This is exactly what I wanted you to do. So
once again, you have sympathy for them. You feel sorry for them. They're adorable.
So okay, let's name your dogs. It's Rojo Bandito.
Rojito
Bella,
Bandito.
The new one, which is
Bella's the OG. She's the grandma.
Yes.
She has a husband named Cicero. Okay.
Good old Cicero. Cicero looks the most homeless.
He's so homeless. If my mother hears this, we're both dead. But he's so homeless. It's terrible.
Because he's a long hair like Pig.
We have 2 daughters that we've kept, Honey and Charlie. And Honey and Charlie have a husband. They're sister wives. And that is Rojito Bandito.
He gets around, Rojito.
He sure does. He's great at his job. We'll just say that. Just say that.
So, which is Charlie fixed now?
Yeah.
Charlie's fixed finally. Okay. So no more from Charlie. What about Honey?
She's not fixed yet, but if her and Rojito have a magical evening, we can't stop that.
So you just let it happen, and then, okay.
Yeah. And then like with Charlie and Bella, they had 4 litters, so we fixed them because nobody wants to have that many kids. Nobody.
Yeah.
4 litters? That's insane. It's too much. Take a break. You're a weenie dog.
The youngest one that you have.
Uno.
I almost said Evie, but that's the other one. That's the other really pretty one.
Yeah.
Evie, she's show dogs.
She is.
Like, so do you get like a can you like go and get a certification and be like, hey, this is a purebred, like if you wanted a show dog, like,
absolutely,
because they're purebred miniature dachshunds.
They're all AKC, and you can get AKC papers for them.
Have you ever thought about showing?
Absolutely not. No. Once again, I don't think them helping me shows their ability to do things like show. Nor do I have time.
Yes. You are very busy. You are a realtor, if it's not obvious by your t-shirt.
I didn't know this was going to be filmed, so yeah.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Freaking, how did you fall into realty? Like, what was the process? You're just like, I'm good at talking to people, good at selling people on things, and I love houses, that sort of thing.
My mom opened a property management vacation home rental business in Costa Rica. And it's so fun, like out looking at land and talking about building houses and helping people get their homes cleaned for, in between rentals, and started talking about, investing and learning about things like that. And then went to real estate school and decided there was absolutely nothing else in the world that I would rather do.
Wow. That's cool.
It is. It's really cool. And I love it. And sometimes I'm emotional about it. So there's that.
What is it about that process that you love so much? Just like getting people a home, just that look on their face and like, wow, we actually purchased and now we own this property or own this home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one of the coolest things about it is that they're not making anymore. You know what I mean? There's only so much land.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's it. And like, as far as ownership goes for a human, like that's really it. You own your little piece of your little continent or whatever that is. You can
do anything you want to it.
And ownership is great. And I love seeing that pride that people have. But I think for me, it's more about like helping people see beyond the house and see the like investment that they made when they bought their first one. And then watching them buy their second one with that equity, or their third one, or turning that equity into investment properties. And, I love watching people figure out how it can be so successful and helping them navigate those waters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been really fortunate that I've been able to be surrounded by a lot of like-minded people in my business, and that have come to me for help. And, just starting out, like, I just want to buy my first home. And that's great. Like, I love teaching you how that process, here's what's going to look like, but when it's over a year or two after that big smile, that little white flag went out in the front yard, and a year or two after that's over, them coming to me and going, okay, well, that was great. We're glad we made the investment. We took out a HELOC. We did this, we did that. Let's sell it. You get this huge sum of money. You're investing in a dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So watching people navigate those waters is a lot. It's a lot of fun. And I've created some pretty successful investors out of it, which has been
well, awesome. You're damn good at your job. I'll tell you that much. We were having trouble with, what were we having trouble? I can't remember what the issue was, but we couldn't get a loan for some reason. I think it's because Ash, something happened with her job, and she got switched from a W-2 to 1099 or something in between half the year or something like that. And our first realtor and whoever we were processing the loan through said that we couldn't apply for a substantial loan. And so we were like, what? We're screwed for at least 2 more years, because apparently the idea was she was supposed to be on 1099 for 2 years or something like that. And we were like, well, we need a house now. I mean, we're running out of money. We're wasting money throwing money at a rental property right now. And we had all this, money stashed away to buy a property. And Ashley got a hold of you, and within, 6 months? Within 6 months, we bought this house.
Yeah.
And you worked some sort of magic that we cannot explain.
Voodoo.
It was voodoo. It was the April voodoo magic.
Well, 99% of my job, I think, as a realtor is like getting out there and finding those people in our industry that can make a difference to my clients. They're not just selling traditional products like FHA loans, or THDA loans. They're doing those type of things, creating products within their business that we can offer to people who don't fit into that box.
Right.
Or, so part of my job is having the resources available. Like, here's a list of people that can do exactly what you need them to do, and here's a contractor that can help with this, etc.
Is it challenging in today's market? And I'm a complete novice at this, obviously, but is it challenging in today's market where it's sell, 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 sell? It's a buyer's market, would you say that in Nashville still is, or is it sort of kind of petering out?
It's been a seller's market
for
a couple of years.
Seller's market, right.
And I think, honestly, I think we're in a funny transition. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't use the word transition, but we're in a place where we maybe not necessarily have been in the last year or two, where buyers do have a little bit more power. Because the last couple of years, I think a lot of people, saw the money, made the money, and moved.
Right.
But now more people who were waiting and fixing up and whatnot are out there. Now everybody's putting a sign in their yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it took some time to build that snowball. Now everybody's out there. So we've got more product, you know? And we've got the same amount of buyers and more houses. So they've got a little bit more to choose from. They have a little bit more power. You know, it's basic economics, supply and demand.
So yeah, give and take, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where is everyone moving to?
Away from Nashville?
Well, yeah, anywhere.
Where's everyone moving to? Well, if they're moving away from Nashville, it's within 30 to 45 minutes of the city, typically. They're just trying to get right. They're just trying to get far enough away that they're not dealing with all the traffic and everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, Nashville is, man. How long are you born and raised here? No,
I'm not. I think I lived in I don't know, went to 9 different schools or something before I graduated.
When did you move here?
I did.
To Nashville. Sorry. No.
Yeah, I want to say it was 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. Then moved to North Carolina for 11th and 12th. Then came back when I was 19 for a couple of years.
So you've been here since you were 19. So you've seen this city
move around
and change. Mm-hmm. I've only been here for 13 years, and in that time frame, I never expected this city to change the way it did.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. The amount of cranes.
I mean, yeah. What is this? I mean, I came from Las Vegas, and I was trying to. I guess I thought I was going to move away from that, but then I go here, and now they're trying to be Las Vegas, L.A., New York, that kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't think we have the infrastructure for that, guys. But
well, neither did they at the time.
That's true.
And still don't. We could argue that some of them still don't have the correct infrastructure. You know, for the people, are we overpopulated? Like most major cities anywhere in the world, yes.
Yeah.
But we're not. I mean, we're not Thailand yet. You know what I mean?
We're not Malaysia.
We're still cool. You know? I don't know. I just think Nashville has a lot to offer. And you're right. They're really similar to, we're really similar to the setup of New York in the way that we kind of have these boroughs now.
Yeah.
We have Midtown and we have the Gulch and we have, East Nashville. And it's so we're kind of set up with that same thing, only we're surrounded by warm rivers, that people want to get out and play on. So even those boroughs have boroughs where there's, like the marina and Old Hickory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I don't know, but it kind of scares me a little bit.
Does
you know, because aren't you kind of scared that Nashville's going to lose that kind of charm it always had? Because you hear a lot of residents, old residents have been here for a while. They're like, these new buildings, kind of like the old man on the porch screaming at the children with skateboards. These new buildings are ruining what Tennessee used to be in Nashville and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And I could see their point a little bit. I mean, I remember there was an altercation between a venue and the condos that were built next to the music venue, and I can't remember which part of town. I believe it was somewhere near Midtown.
It may have been the Encore when they built that.
It could have been
at Riverfront Park.
Yeah,
where they were having concerts.
And I
lived in that high rise, the Encore, right there when they put that in. My husband and I lived there.
And so there were they kept the venue was continuously getting noise complaints and getting cops called on them, and it's you're in Music City, man, and you're downtown where all the music is.
That's what you moved here for, right?
I mean,
yeah.
So people are afraid that it's gonna lose that musical sort of charm, and just there's nothing but high rises here now, where there used to be these old awesome venues
dancing in the district.
Why
don't we do that anymore?
I don't even know what that way. What is that?
Are you serious?
I don't know.
It was awesome.
What was dancing in the district?
Just people would come and play down at Riverfront. They'd set up a big barge out on the river, and there were stages out there.
Don't they do that for festivals though?
I think so.
Yeah,
they still do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they still use
river
that
stages. Is that what they called it? I don't know.
River stage, I think. Riverfront stage.
Yeah,
that's
what
it is.
It was called river stages back then. I don't know. I'm too old. I've slept since then.
I forgot to ask you when we were talking about your animals. You also have, not only do you have 4 weenie dogs, you also have 2 goats.
I have 3 goats.
You have 3 goats and 2 chickens?
I have a total of 4 weenie dogs, a turtle.
You have a turtle now?
I have a turtle named Frankfurt. And he's adorable. He likes his little snacks. He's cool. Is
it like a small little turtle or like a big giant turtle?
He was like this big. Now he's maybe like that big.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
where did you find him?
Real cool dude. In my backyard.
You're just hanging out and you're like,
yeah.
That's adorable.
He really is. So I have 4 weenie dogs and a turtle. I have 2 cats, 3 goats. I'm babysitting someone's cats right now too. So I have 4 at the moment, which is too much. And then I also have 3 hens and a rooster.
You have 3 hens and a rooster.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I don't have a rooster. Which camera is?
This is your camera.
Okay, I do not have a rooster.
It only looks like a rooster. What is your husband, Mr. Scott Fisher, who will also be on the podcast soon enough?
Oh, he's so pumped. He's
I'm sure excited. He's just so excited.
So bad.
You're
in for it. You're in for it. You asked for it. It's going to be a nightmare.
So he's okay with all that?
Oh, yeah, he loves it. He loves it. He wants more land. He wants more animals.
You guys should just build like a little warehouse.
Yeah.
Have a little animal sanctuary.
I tell you. What I would ideally like to do is, because I am 30 minutes from the city, I'm in like the legit spot, you know. Yeah. I'd like to buy my entire street of houses. And then, like, all my friends could live there, and all my animals could live.
Oh, you want
the backyards.
You want a coven, is what you want. Well, not a coven.
I want to see them every day.
You want a cul-de-sac of friends.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like a little commune. We could have a garden and all our animals, and it'd be great.
Yeah, that's a goal to have. Mm-hmm. I think that's everyone's goal.
It's legit.
I wonder if that has ever happened. Has anyone ever, like? I guess if you're like a rich billionaire, I'm sure you had the money to do that, or if you're famous.
Oh, yeah.
But I wonder if a person who's not famous and not a celebrity has ever thought of, you know what, I'm so rich, I'm going to buy out this entire neighborhood and, you know, for all my friends and family.
How fun would that be, though? It'd be legit.
It's almost like the whole question is like, if you had an island, what would you do with it? And you had an island and all this money.
I think I'd get bored.
Well, if you built
the commune.
The commune.
But what if there were friends that didn't want to come?
That's the word I'm looking for. Huh?
What if there were friends that didn't want to come?
Oh, yeah, I guess it would break your heart.
It would.
A little bit. You're like, look, man, I got all this money. You know, I built you this big, giant mansion. Come on, man, bring your family, bring your fun. You know, it'll be fun. We'll be next year. No, I don't. Yeah.
I want to stay here. They'll continue my job at Kroger. I'm in the produce department now.
Well, that is true. It's like, what are they gonna do there?
They're gonna work on the farm.
Are they gonna get paid for it?
No, they just get to live on the island for free.
Because eventually the money is gonna run out.
I don't know. I haven't thought this through. You just came up with the island idea.
I did.
The commune is legit, though. The commune's legit. I'm drafting plans for, 4 small houses that are under one roof, but there's one like main house, where everybody goes for dinner together, we party together, watch movies, whatever. But everybody has their own little small house, and it sits on a lot of land where we can have animals and vegetables.
You really want to do this?
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Like your girl.
Producer Ashley, do we need to do this together?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm down with that.
But it would be like a working situation. Obviously, everybody would have responsibility. It'd be, full hands in, full hands out kind of thing. And then go out and play in the pool, then you need to water the cauliflower or whatever needs to be done out there.
I fear like this might be turned into a cult. Later on, Scott reads the very old book one day.
He's gonna give us like history podcast knowledge once a day, where you have to come out and listen to what he learned on his history podcast.
Yeah, then it turns quickly into teachings, and the teachings turn into.
You make it sound so horrible. I'm just trying to save animals. And live off my land. You know?
Yeah, so did all the cult members.
Oh my God. It's going to be solar too. You're so not invited. Ashley, you're still invited. And your mom can come too. Shane has to stay here.
That's fine. That is fine. I can live here alone. I don't need you ladies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the reason why I said that, I just watched a Netflix documentary called Hell something.
Oh my.
Hell. Oh, what the hell was it called? Something Hell. God dang it. Anyway, something Hell or Hell this or whatever. And it was about, just essentially a cult.
Oh wow.
That, it's just the same story. It's the same story where everyone's going. It's about togetherness and love and being away from society and being one with nature and meditation and going through seeing God and all that stuff. And like they would do these like tantric exercises to see. Was it tantra where it's just the meditation where you just like go outside your body and see God and whatever. And it started off all well and good until of course the leader started sleeping around with everybody and sort of manipulated them into bed, and then then it falls apart.
Strangest concept to me.
And he's still doing it, which is crazy. They kicked him out eventually over time. They kicked the leader out because he was, sleeping around against their will.
He started his own again?
Apparently no one had thought to turn him in.
Yeah.
Because they still had some sort of love for him or something. Like it was, the group was splintered for some reason, whatever. And so there were some that actually went with him to Hawaii. So now he's in Hawaii, just with his other group, new group.
Just living his best life.
Just living his best life.
Okay. All right. At the expense of people's brain cells or what?
Yeah, he would.
That's really.
It was so crazy, like how he had their mind. Mm-hmm. He would just make them do things like massage. He would manipulate them into massaging him. He had a courier. No, not a courier.
I feel like there's a lot I could learn from this man.
I mean, if you wanted to run a cult, Jesus.
I'm just trying to get free massages.
I mean, jeez. No, like just the amount of influence this guy had on all of these people.
Yeah,
was insane.
Same goes for Hitler.
I mean,
and some other people I won't name.
Essentially, but it's always the same stories. Like people who are just are looking for something, and people who are easily manipulated, and people who are, and then the other people who are just essentially egomaniacs and narcissists.
Yes,
can take advantage of those people.
Those
easily.
People are great. I've had several of them in my life. Those are good ones.
Anyway, we diverged there for a second, but it was yeah. So how do you wait? So you work like around the clock.
I do. I work 24/7.
Yeah. Well, how do you balance? How do you balance between like a work life and your real life, like having a life outside of work?
I think balance is a really tricky word. I don't think that there is such a thing as balance. I think that, like, as I sit in this chair, as you sit in that chair, every single muscle and fiber inside your body is attempting to balance you and keep you up at all times. It doesn't ever just rest or we would fall down on the floor. So I don't think that there is like a true balance. I think that that is something that is just continual. We're working on it.
So you're not worried that you work too hard and you'll go crazy?
I don't because I love my work. It's almost I guess that would make not sense, like work. Yes, I have terrible days. And yes, just like anyone else, there are days I want to jump off of something or drink too much or, it is what it is because this person didn't cooperate with us or didn't, they're not giving and taking. A lot of my job is just
negotiation.
Yeah. It's just literally let's find a happy place for this person and this person. no one has to lose. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's a happy place for everyone to exist. I honestly believe that.
Should everyone in Congress be replaced by realtors?
No.
I mean, I was like,
I don't know that it's
negotiation. I mean,
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I think that balance is really tricky, and it's not something that I long for. You know what I mean? Because I know it's not real.
That's interesting.
If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't think that it's a real thing. I think that it's something that I work for, everybody works for every day to find a little extra time. You work a little harder, a little faster to find a little extra time, or you try to get ahead so you can find a little extra time, or whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you and your work.
Yeah.
But I find myself really lucky. I can sit at my pool and still take phone calls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can go out on the lake and show property. I can go to Costa Rica for several weeks during the year, or, the whole month of March, and go to the festivals and still, quote unquote, be here. I've got agents on the ground here that can help me. And if somebody needs to be present, but otherwise, most of the stuff that I do is paperwork, a ton, which is done on my computer, or it's negotiating, which is done on my phone. So, it creates a fun balance. Yeah, I'm working. I've never, in 6 years now, taken a vacation where I did not pick up my phone for more than, I'd say, 2 hours at a time. Wow. Mm-hmm.
So even on vacation, you're working?
Even on vacation.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, most people would drive them crazy. But I think it's because, what you're saying is I understand what you're saying, because you love what you do. Yeah. And so it's not so much a job, so it's sort of imbalanced in that way where you're having fun all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I mean, and it's really cool. I mean, I had to go to a pub to get Wi-Fi in London to FaceTime a client at their inspection and talk about some issues. You know what I mean? I had to, that was real stressful.
I imagine.
And I had to go to a restaurant in Flamingo, in Guanacaste, to find Wi-Fi so that I could FaceTime a client and congratulate them because they got the house. We had wrote the contract before I got on the plane. I got there and it was like a rush to see their face. Aww. And that's exciting. So, that's one way to start a vacation.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it is what it is, I mean, I'm working, but I'm doing it from London or Amsterdam or Greece, or, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So we try to do several countries a year, because when I am here and my feet are on the ground, it is 24/7. So when I get away, my feet might not be here, but I still got to take some phone calls, and I'm fine with it.
Well, that's sort of inspiring. You just found what you love, and it doesn't become a job. I guess that's inspiring to anyone who's working the 9 to 5, and just like, God, I got to find that thing that I love and turn it into something magical. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you love it enough and you become good at it, people are going to see that.
Right.
They're going to see your light for it. You know what I mean?
You got to work hard, you got to work hard and keep your nose to the grindstone kind of thing. That is good to know. Mm-hmm. But it's also, and a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but I also think you also need talent too.
Yeah.
Be talented in what you do.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Yeah.
And if you also work hard, then you'll be able to,
right.
Do what you...
If I was just working hard all day and not doing any additional education or going out and getting certifications, right. Or, I do everything that I can. I have hundreds of hours of education under my belt that I do yearly. And I've already gotten like 4 or 5 designations. So you just got to stay on top of everything as quick as our market's moving. Back to that.
Yes. Yes. You travel a lot, but you also you go to Costa Rica more often. What's so special about Costa Rica?
I don't know.
You don't. You have like a special place in your heart for Costa Rica.
I do, but like I can't explain that to you. It's just like home. It's my second home. I don't know. When I was there,
is it the people? Is it
everything?
The places?
The food, the beaches, the sunset.
The pictures look quite nice. I've never been.
It might be the sunsets. Now that I think of it, it's probably the sunsets. That Central America, Pacific side sunset, the fishing, the food, the festivals, the everything about it, the people. I have 2 brothers there, Rigo and Erlin. Shout out if they see this. I don't even know how to do that. But they're there. We see them every time we go down, and I don't know. It's a magical land.
It's a magical
full of all kinds of things, volcanoes and snakes and
then
scorpions.
you go with your husband a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you and your husband meet?
Oh my!
I already know this story, but I kind of wanted you to tell this story because it's really funny.
At a magical conference in Atlanta.
A magical conference.
It was a FedEx conference in Atlanta, and I guess I didn't know he was going to be there. He knew I was going to be there. I guess had attempted to email me and say, hey, let's go down together. He had just transferred to the terminal that I was working at for FedEx. I was operations manager there for 7 years at the Trinity Lane location. So he had just transferred there. So I knew of him, had met him in person once or twice, but honestly, I thought he was like too pretty. He probably wasn't into girls. So I was like, meh, count that one out. Honest thought. And then we ended up in Atlanta together. So I went out, I came in one day and saw him in the conference the first day, and I was like, what's he doing here? The rest is history.
Yeah. He's a hoot.
He is. He's real special.
We've been meaning to go out to your guys' house again for but life.
Yeah.
Life keeps hitting us in the gonads.
That's where life always hits you. Right in the gonads.
And then Fisher's brother.
Yeah, he's real special too.
I mean, when they're together, it's a magical time.
It's not okay. It's not okay. I mean, they're the spitting image of each other in most ways. They're both bullheaded, know-it-all. Mean. Just mean.
Like mean to each other?
To everyone.
He's always treated me with respect and kindness. I'll have you know.
Of course. Of course he has. Because you've never disagreed with him about anything.
That's true. I've never poked the bear yet.
You should do that.
I gotta find something. I gotta find something to poke the bear.
On something really extreme.
Ooh, yeah. I gotta think of something really wacky.
He really likes history podcasts.
Oh, okay.
He's a big nerd. They're both big nerds. Yeah.
So what do you think about Genghis Khan? I thought he was swell.
Yeah, that'll get him every time.
Yeah, I need to get him on. I need to get his brother on. I just need to. I've been talked about this for a while. It's just like set up a debate between him and his brother.
Oh my god.
Because that needs to happen.
That's such a bad idea.
But it's such a good idea for the entertainment value.
I mean, you should sell tickets.
Oh my god, I should sell
and
tickets.
Give them both one weapon.
One weapon
of their choice.
As a last resort.
Yeah. Of your choice. You can have one weapon. And it has to be like things they have to think about. Like here's one video game. Can you kill someone with this? Something ridiculous.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Me?
Yeah.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have 2 brothers and a sister on my dad's side.
And the reason why I asked is because I'm an only child. Ash is the only child. Mm-hmm. And I got asked this question the other day. It's like, don't you wish you had a brother or sister?
No.
And I flat out
the answer is no.
I flat out said no. And they're like, why did you get you get the love and the camaraderie from a person that's around your age and, and you guys grew up together and this, that, and the other. Like, yeah, and you also annoy the hell out of each other for no reason. No. The closest thing I've ever had to a brother is my buddy Kyle. And when we were kids, he would annoy the fuck out of me. Sorry for the language. He would annoy the absolute hell out of me just to do it, because that's the type of person he is. And I didn't. That's enough.
Yeah.
Because then I could just leave. And he still does it to this day, just to get under my skin, which is also why I love him. But again, I just to be around it 24/7 and just to know that little thing. That little button that they can push just to get you going. Just, I don't like that. Do you have a good relationships with your...
We don't see each other often enough.
I'm sorry,
to call it a relationship. Oh, it's fine. I mean, I went down there a lot, as I was growing up and visited. But I do it less and less now. So... I mean, they're not going to come here, so there's that.
Yeah, so
so you don't see them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have family that I don't ever really see ever, and some people go, well, isn't that sad? I'm like, well, not really. I used to see them a lot when I was a kid, but then it's like, I'm an adult now, and I have my own life, and
and they're busy. I'm busy. Everybody has their own life, and mine is here, and theirs is there. It is what it is. So I grew up, in a household with just my mother and me. So my grandparents took a lot of heat in the summer, because I wanted to go play on the pig farm all summer. And any holiday break I could get to go down there. So it just never, that was it.
That was it.
You got a single mom who works, her tail off.
Do you think that's jobs. Also where you got your drive from, is from your mom?
Oh, absolutely.
Single mom. And
absolutely. I watched my mom growing up be, there was nothing that came before work. Nothing.
Wow.
She moved us all over the place. Before I left her house, I lived in North Carolina. I lived in Kentucky with her, Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma. Anywhere that gave her a promotion was where we went.
Wow. Yeah.
So
that must have been tough on you as a kid. Was it tough, or were you
loved
just like
it?
You loved it. See, a lot of kids oh man, it was traumatizing. I never had had a stable connection with any friends growing up and stuff like that.
Great, man. I have friends all over the world now.
Well, I guess you can. You see, that's a good positive spin on it. Thank you. I love silver linings.
Friends everywhere. And it's super fun. I love that.
Yeah. I guess I had a similar sort of thing. My parents are traveling musicians, so just kind of but eventually they stopped traveling as much when I was born. Mm-hmm. And so when I was born, I was born in Florida, and then but they were living in Memphis at the time. And so I lived in Memphis till I was 5, and then they moved to Las Vegas because, again, my dad's an Elvis impersonator. Memphis, duh.
Yep.
Las Vegas, duh.
Yeah. It's where you were always going to live.
Yes, that is where the destination was, and that's where the destination came to be. And so I lived there till I was 20, and I moved out here when I was 20. Yeah. So... yeah, but, they still traveled when I was a kid. They still had to, go to, they did regencies like in Wisconsin and Florida and Ohio and this little island called Put-in-Bay, Ohio, which...
An island in Ohio?
There's an island in Ohio. It's in the middle of Lake Erie, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a little party island. For old people.
Stop it.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Back to the island for old people.
I mean,
this is great.
Really. It's not old people, not 80, geriatric,
right, sure.
where,
They're
walkers.
Still partying.
No, but it's people who are, are on vacation but don't have enough, don't have all the money to go to fucking Costa Rica or something like that.
It's not that expensive. And you guys get me wrong with the money part now, because I want to give you a little tip on how I travel. I have 2 credit cards that everything is paid on. So every penny that I spend is free miles. Okay? It's very important.
Hey, that's totally fine. I'm saying for those people who aren't, I don't want to say smart enough, because that's not true. I don't have a card with miles on it. The people who haven't thought that out yet.
One.
And they're like,
amazing.
Honey, we haven't taken a vacation together. We need to go, but we only have this amount of money. Let's go to Put-in-Bay, Ohio. And Put-in-Bay, Ohio is just this little island.
Legit.
Where they have venues. It's sort of similar to downtown Nashville.
Okay.
Where every venue has live music.
Oh, nice.
It's not like, young electronic DJs. Well, there's some now. The last time we went, it was like 5 years ago, I think. And there was like 1 or 2.
Can you spell it? Is it like puddin'?
It's Put-in-Bay.
Put-in-Bay. I thought you were saying Puddin'-Bay. Like, I'll be your
Puddin'-Bay.
Yeah.
No, it's not Puddin'-Bay. But it's Put-in-Bay. And they have their own winery there that they don't export their wine.
Oh.
They only sell it on the island.
Man, that's legit.
Yeah.
Is it
and
good?
So it's really good. It is so good. In fact, I have a story for you.
Oh my.
My dad doesn't drink wine. Okay. My dad has always been a beer drinker or whiskey, Crown Royal,
Okay.
That was always his drink. But in Put-in-Bay, they would play there often. So he got to know, the venue owners. He had a really good relationship with everyone. Mm-hmm. And he got a good relationship with the owner of the winery. And so the band would go there and party before the show. Well, Dad thought he'd be fine by drinking 2 full bottles of whiskey before the show.
Whiskey or wine?
I'm sorry, wine. Sorry.
2 bottles of wine?
Yes, 2 full bottles of wine.
You wouldn't get
now,
me
this
out of the
wine
bathtub.
is so good. It tastes like grape juice, but it's red wine. So it's not as bitter as other wine. I don't know what they put in it.
Puddin'.
So my dad gets Hammertown.
Schmammied.
Just schmammered. Before he has to play a show.
Nice.
And so how their show worked was my mom would go out with the band and do her set, which is only like 4 or 5 songs or something like that.
What does Mom do?
She also sings with him.
What?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Miss Elvis.
Yeah, Miss Elvis. And so, so she did her set. And she didn't realize that my dad had drunk that much wine. Otherwise, she would have just said, we're canceling the show. And so so they run the vamp, which is like the intro to Elvis's show. Have you ever seen Elvis's show live or whatever? No. They always start with the 2001 theme song.
Okay. Yep.
So they did the intro, whatever, and I hope I'm remembering this right, but this is how I remember it. This is how I remember my mom telling me this story, because I was young when this was happening. I was there at this time. Okay. I was how was I? Was I 6 or 7? I can't remember how old I was, but he doesn't come out for like 3 minutes.
What?
After the vamp is like ready, like after the 2-minute long intro.
It's the longest drum roll ever.
It really is. It's just, where is Elvis? Where is Dennis?
Oh no!
So
the suspense.
So
what did he do?
He finally stumbles out. He finally stumbles out from the side of the stage, and he's like, "All right." He actually gets through the show pretty good, but he's still, he's a little loose. He's a little loosey-goosey.
Yeah. Okay.
Loosey-goosey. And my mom realized then on, she's like, oh my God, he's drunk as a skunk. He's actually doing this. But we can't cancel the show. Show must go on.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
So
of course.
I somehow am like walk up to the front of the stage. And mind you, the stage at this particular venue is like, I want to say 8 feet.
Oh,
like
wow.
a really tall stage, and the floor is on the floor.
And you're like this big.
I'm really tiny. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I come up to the front of the stage to watch. I don't know what I was doing, like on the dance floor or whatever. And I look up, and he he drunkenly sees me, goes down to pick me up from the floor.
Oh my gosh.
From my arms.
Oh my gosh.
So he picks me. I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. He's like,
Sure.
Whee!
Yeah, of course.
And my mother's like, oh my god, like coming right behind him. And so he's like singing the song. He picks me up and puts me on his shoulders, and she's like, oh my god. So you can see like my mother just kind of like, don't fall. Oh my god, don't fall.
Drop my son. Please don't.
I'm gonna have to kill you and divorce you all in one day.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what put in bay. I made it. I was fine.
That's so anticlimactic. I wanted like a scar or something from it. Come on.
No. I'm just saying like that is the beauty of Put in Bay, Ohio.
Okay.
It's like the
good
glamour
times to be had by all.
I mean,
sure.
yeah.
Two bottles of wine later.
2 bottles of wine later.
Lived.
Oh, it's the home of the world's largest bar as well. It might be have beaten out, after all these years, but when I went there when I was a kid, it's called the world's largest bar. It's a bar that loops, goes around, but it's all connected.
Oh.
So it's a very big
longest
menu.
Bar.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the bar is connected. So technically,
it's all one bar.
Got
it.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty nice. They have their little shooters. Yeah,
I
like
was a
shooters.
shot girl one time.
Oh?
Like carried the tray. I did it.
What, a Coyote Ugly?
No, it was at Graham Central Station. Do you remember that place?
Have I been there? I can't remember. Yeah, it's before my time.
Before you were here.
It's before my time.
It was a tragedy. That place, the only reason why you ever went in Graham Central Station was 1, you were a shot girl, or 2, you were there to catch gonosyphilades. That was it. It was a tragedy.
Was it that trash?
See, there's some of the old magic of Nashville I'm okay with fading away. Because we have all these new things now. We have new restaurants. We have the House of Cards. We have Catbird Seat. We have all of this magic coming here. I think that it's still really important for people our age to wrap our arms around all of our locals, our friends and family and people who are locals who have businesses here. I think it's important for us to support local business. Yeah. But I'm fine. Bring in all that fun stuff. Like, I think it's great. Top Golf.
I love a good dive bar, though. I love a good dive bar.
Yeah, we still have great ones. We still have great dive bars.
Like what? I haven't been to a bar for ages. God.
Really?
I'm a boring human being.
You gotta get out of the house, man. There's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of good stuff. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go to the honky tonks.
I don't drink as much anymore. Yeah, the honky. Well, no, definitely not the honky tonks.
We can't drink as much anymore. Yeah. I mean, legitimately, we'd probably die. I know I would.
I don't know. My parents have they invented the term functional alcoholics.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they can toss back drinks like it's nothing.
Really?
And be fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it doesn't become a problem.
Really?
I think there was never a negative thing that's ever happened. Well, my dad kicked down my door once, but that was.
Were you a teenager?
I was a teenager.
Then it doesn't count.
It does not count. See, that's why I was
coming in. Get over it.
And I was being a little shit, so.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Mom and Dad can do no wrong.
That was a fun time. I was like, he actually kicked my fucking door in.
Legit.
I mean.
Dad moves.
I mean, yeah.
Awesome.
It was a pretty respectable thing.
I like that. Yeah, my grandfather was kind of my father figure growing up, and he was the only one that ever whooped me. But man, he picked me up by the back of my coveralls, and he would throw me across his lap, wear me out. It was so embarrassing.
Coveralls.
I had all these little cousins that were like around my age.
Bunch of Oshkosh bagosh.
Yeah, and I just wanted to be cool in front of them, but he would snag me up. Woo.
They gotta put you in place sometimes. See, and that parenting is gone now. That would be child abuse now.
Oh
apparently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, the problem is these kids aren't.
They ain't getting their tails whooped like they ought to. No, I'm not saying you should go Judy chopping anybody that don't need Judy chopping. I'm just saying some kids needs the butt whoop.
Yeah. Yeah. You can always tell, too. You can always tell, like, that person you meet, you're like, you were never whooped as a child.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. And I can also see in children, I think it's really interesting. A lot of my clients' kids, I pay close attention to their children a lot of times because the parents want to see the house or be a part of the closing or listen to what the title people are telling them. So I try to entertain, children a lot. It is part of my job to distract a child so that the parents can like legit pay attention to what's going on. I mean, they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and they got a 4-year-old going, going crazy. But I always can tell I'm like, that one's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That one's going to be legit. Like, she's awesome. I had one just a couple days ago, spitball right in my eyeball.
What?
With a straw
spitball?
from like 2 seats away.
Do kids you still do that?
Yeah. Kid's 6. She's 6.
I
was not even mad. I was like, that is legit. Like, you're my girl. Give me some nuts. We're friends.
I'm actually really happy that kids still do that.
Me too.
And then they're not like in their phone, like, I'm glad that they're utilizing old retro moves that we learned on the street.
Yeah. But it's also, I mean, and you can tell, obviously, her parents are people that I highly respect. And I was like, yes, even more respect. Your daughter is 6 and she just spitballed me.
That's awesome. Adorable.
It is horrible, and I shouldn't have encouraged it. No, but still, I was like, yeah. I mean, 1, she knows how to do that. 2, no, she's not ever like, give me your phone. Like tugging on her mom's phone.
I had. Kyle was leashed. Have you ever seen that when parents leash their children?
I have not seen it in public myself, and that's probably for good reason. I don't just walk around like cutting cords.
I always bring that up too.
How funny would that be?
I always bring that up. But he was a special child, Mr. Kyle. He was really an energetic child. He was a very energetic kid. Mm-hmm. Luckily, he had a dad to channel him.
Yeah.
And teach him karate.
Oh.
He's a black belt in karate, actually.
Nice. Yeah.
Now he's a CrossFit trainer.
No skills whatsoever.
Would you trade? Here you go. What talent would you trade for instead of your realtor talent? And it has to be a real talent. It can't be like magic or.
Trade for what? What are we trading
like
for?
Another skill. What other skill would you want to have to be just as good at?
Ooh. I have to trade something for a new thing.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'm that talented at that many things.
It doesn't matter.
I have good people skills.
Well, okay. What would you want?
I'd rather be invisible.
It's a talent, but no one's.
It's a talent. Invisible cloak is a talent.
Invisible cloak. I'm not talking about metaphysical things or X-Men powers. I'm talking about like a real talent. Like, would you want to be good at jiu-jitsu? Would you want to be good at an instrument?
No.
Would you want to be good at swimming?
Yes. I feel like that would come in handy. Nope. Not that good.
You don't want to be that... Come on, you don't want to be that good?
No, I feel like I picked my battles. Like, I picked them really well, Here's some things I'm great at. I know what I'm okay at and what I'm bad at, and I just don't focus on those.
You don't ever watch something and you go, gosh,
great.
I wish that... I wish I knew how to do that. There has to be something.
I'm sure there is. Something I wish I knew how to do desperately.
Well, dance.
Oh, yeah. I could trade dancing for something. I did dance
for a while. Didn't you dance with my wife, didn't you?
I did. I was a T-bird. I was a T-bird.
A T-bird?
Yeah. I think she was a Cadillac.
Were you a Cadillac, babe? She stopped competing before she was a Jag?
A Jaguar, yeah.
A Jaguar.
I went straight to competition. I never took a dance class in my life. But my friend Dolly was like, hey, auditions, dance class. I was like, all right, cool, let's do that. So I went to this audition. And I made it. My mom was like, oh, shit. Now I have to buy her all these clothes, take her on all these things.
Did you ever watch that show, Dance Moms?
Yes. Tragedy, right? It's coming back.
Oh, my God. It's coming back?
It's
no
terrible.
way.
It's absolutely terrible. It's a small glimpse. I think it's very over dramatic.
Of course. Well, it's a reality show, but it's super dance.
I mean, but seriously.
We got addicted to it for a second. There was a time where me and Ash were addicted to all sorts of reality TV shows. We watched Hell's Kitchen. We watched
The guys in the camo.
The Guys in the Camo.
You know who I'm talking about? The guy was obsessed with like the Born Identity movies. The old guy.
Oh, Duck Dynasty. Yeah. We were into Duck Dynasty there for a second.
That's terrible.
But it was.
You guys are embarrassing me.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That show was hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just a bunch of rednecks who are rich. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
Like rich rednecks, just fucking.
There's no way that's bad.
I mean, it's hilarious. Like,
I think I watched one episode of that and I was not at all interested. I'm not good at TV. I don't have the attention span unless it's something that's like educational. I love reality.
So you're telling me you never watched Game of Thrones?
I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
No,
What about Scott?
One episode. No.
Do you have any shows that you watch with Scott?
Yes.
What shows?
Drunk History.
That's a good show.
I love seriously anything that's real. Documentaries, we like those. Anything educational, TED Talks, comedy, stand-ups. That's usually pretty real. And then, the nature shows. Uno likes watching the nature shows where like the lion is chasing down the elk, and there's like that suspenseful music and Uno's little ears poke up. She gets real excited, like he's gonna make it, and he never does. And then she gets sad and goes to sleep.
Oh, does she really like stare at the TV?
Yeah. That's just
adorable.
those shows though. Everything else is trash to her. But if there is suspenseful animal chases, she's all about it.
Really?
She really thinks they're going to make it. She does.
What if she's actually rooting for the lion?
I don't know. She looks real tense. Like she gets like, I don't know, maybe. Who knows?
Pig does that sometimes, but only when there's another dog barking, like a real dog barking in the TV. Mm-hmm. Or for some reason, for a second, he was really into Lost. That show Lost. We actually were watching Lost one time, and he was just like staring at the TV. There was something in the TV that he was just like, what is this? What's going on? He kept on turning his head, and he stared at it for like 5 minutes.
It was problematic for him.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't understand. Where's this going? What's in that hatch? What's going on?
Are we going in the basement? What's happening?
Yeah.
It's interesting how dogs watch TV, I think, sometimes.
Have you ever seen that show Too Cute?
No, I haven't.
Too Cute.
I'm not good at TV. I don't know any famous people. I don't know movies. My favorite movie of all time, I have a top 3: Top Gun, Fern Gully, Dirty Dancing.
Fern Gully.
Is like the best movie ever.
I have not seen Fern Gully in forever.
Well, now everyone can hack into my bank account because they know my favorite movies.
I'm surprised that no one's tried to remake Fern Gully. Would you watch it?
Yes. I would be a part of the remake.
Will Smith would play the Bat because Robin Williams played the Bat in the first one.
I feel like I would be a good Maggie. You remember Maggie?
Was that the
old lady
that would
like touch the ground and the flowers would grow? Oh. It was great.
Yeah, I'm not like with everyone's environmental consciousness becoming more broad and more powerful,
which is great, by the way.
Which is great. Fantastic.
Igloo
save
just
the earth.
released a new biodegradable cooler rather than styrofoam.
Really?
Small steps for mankind.
You know what? I want to say this right now. I don't agree with paper straws.
You don't?
I don't.
Why?
I agree with steel straws.
Okay.
Like we can recycle steel straws.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I cannot stand the paper straws.
Okay, you just don't like them.
No, I don't like them at all.
It's not that you don't agree with them. They're just terrible.
Well,
I think they suck.
Also on principle, I'm kind of libertarian on that front.
Okay.
It's the same sort of idea I had when New York kind of like said nobody can drink they outlawed 24-ounce Cokes or something like that, 16 super size, whatever. I was just like, so what's to stop a person for ordering 2 Cokes then?
It's small steps for mankind. I'm going to stick with that. I think the paper straws suck. I hate them. They melt in your mouth.
That's
they melt
what
in your
I'm talking
drink.
about. Thank you.
But you know what?
And it also, too, it doesn't really save the earth as much as you think it does.
The turtle. You don't know how much it's saving.
I do, actually. I actually looked it up.
Actually, I have statistics on
I
that.
have seen statistics.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can make the argument every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Sure. But by far, the most pollution that is done in the ocean is actually by commercial fishing.
Yeah.
By a landslide margin. Because there are countless amounts of fishing by every country, not just us. Every country does it. And their nets and all sorts of stuff that falls from their ships, it just fall down in the ocean.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And so,
It's
well, we
not
can't get rid of salmon.
overfishing.
It could be overfishing. That's a
think we're
problem for
overfishing
sure.
a lot. I watch a lot of
But
those.
see, like, that's my
animal
point.
shows.
It's like, yeah, you're going to go after and inconvenience somebody for a paper straw instead of actually tackling the real problem, which is, commercial fishing. So what are you going to do? That's my issue. It's like you're not tackling the issue. What you're actually doing is just pissing people off. People like me. But I get it. You know what? I'm not going to hate on it, but I just don't. I'm like, have you ever, like, they melt in your mouth.
Yeah,
so
no,
that's
they're
what I'm
awful.
saying. Like
They're awful.
steel
Do you
straws.
Eat fish?
Huh?
Do you eat fish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not too much fish. Salmon I like. Catfish when it's done correctly, not too fishy.
And they're caught by commercial fishermen.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
What am I doing?
What do you do? What's your
I'm
small
not
step
the
for
environmentalist
mankind?
here. I'll tell you this right now. I'm not the
gonna
activist.
stop eating fish.
I can just tell you what I don't like and agree with, and then that's it. Other
You can
people
take that information and do with it what you will.
yeah, other people can make those kinds of decisions for me. I'm not that guy. I can just see the problems with that.
All right, good enough.
I'm not a big fan of people telling you what to do.
Sure.
I don't think it works in the long run, to tell you the truth.
Okay, like government saying paper straws only or small Cokes only.
Right.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah. It's like, what business if you're, it's like smoking, and that whole truth commercials and stuff were coming out, which is fine. You can have truth commercials.
Yeah.
Tell people, like, hey, don't smoke, it's bad for you. Get
Right.
it. But if you outlaw, like, cigarettes, completely outlaw cigarettes, it's kind of like, people are going to do it.
Taking away a right.
Well, it's not
Your
even a right.
to
Well,
do-
it's sort of like whatever I do in my own home is none of your damn business.
Okay.
Sort of like the Ron Swanson kind of
Okay.
attitude.
Meat and potatoes guy. I
Yeah.
like it. I didn't know that about you. So I feel like I'm learning about you today.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't
I'm
have tagged
sorry.
you for a Ron Swanson, but
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Well, I'm not. I'm sort of a mix in between Ron Swanson and freaking what's her name? I forgot her name.
Oprah.
Not Oprah. Definitely not Oprah. That's too angelic.
And
That's
you
too
get
angelic.
a car.
And you get a car. Oh gosh, Leslie Knope. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, mix between the two.
Okay.
You know.
That's fair. That's fair. I like that.
Because there's a lot of things about Ron Swanson. I'm like, yeah, you're right, Ron. The government is a bunch of
Hooey. It's all hooey. Stay out of my business.
Yeah, I think my favorite Ron Swanson quote is, if you own a dog that is less than 10 pounds, that's a cat, and cats are useless.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Your dog is less than 10
I know,
pounds.
that's why it's hilarious. He's a mean one, though.
I haven't heard that. No, it's not.
I know. I love it when he hears a sound outside and he thinks, like, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do, man?
It's crazy. You should see my 4 barking in the front yard at
I
anyone
don't see
that
how
walks
I don't
up.
see how you do it without going insane with those 4 dogs.
I mean,
And they're miniature
100 miles
dogs.
an hour. They keep each other entertained, They dig tunnels to China in the front yard. They're fine. They're fine.
But Charlie, I think, yeah, she's the most calm. Would you
She
say?
is. She's definitely got the most docile temperament, but her problem is, obesity.
Is she still?
I feel like she
That
has
problem.
an issue with scarcity. You know, like she thinks there's not gonna be food later, so she eats everybody's food.
Oh.
If you put 4 bowls out, no one eats. So Charlie has to like have her own room with her own bowl for mealtime.
So how do you get a dog to lose weight? I always wondered that. Well, especially after having a miniature dachshund, like how do you? Because they have issues with weight sometimes. Is it more a dachshund, like a full dachshund size?
No, I think all weenies they can have weight issues, yeah, which in turn turns into back issues.
Yeah.
So,
So how do you
exercise?
How do you exercise? Or
One
do you
less bowl a day. Fisher and Pootie go on walks together.
Oh, I love how you call her Pootie.
Yeah, her name has evolved. Her name is actually Charlie Anna Star, and then it was Charlie, and then it was Charlie Poo, and then it was Pootie Poo, and then it turned into Pootie, and now we just call her Poot. It's just Poot. She loves chicken, naps, and her name's Poot. I don't know.
Oh, but
They're
Bella
also
though,
different. Bella's an angel.
Yeah, she is. She loves
She's
those toys.
She's the sidekick. She's also psychotic.
So a little bit about those toys.
She likes the BALL.
That Pig got that from her.
Yes, he did.
That's why he has 17.
Sorry for that.
He has 17 toys, just all him.
She also
And he
has a
doesn't
scarcity
share.
issue for balls. She thinks there will be no more, ever. So we need to play it until we die. Pretty much. You have to put it away because she's crazy.
Yeah. You know what's... I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. Again, back to Pig being so smart. He didn't really chew on anything he wasn't supposed to chew.
Yeah, they're really good about that.
Were they are all them like that too?
Yes. Uno tore up a couple pairs of flip-flops, but, you know.
Ro is not as good, though.
Ro is a terrible dog. He's absolutely terrible. No, I'm just kidding. He's an angel. He doesn't he doesn't chew up anything. He just pees on the corner of stuff. And he tries to impregnate everyone at all times. And I still blame that on Trisha.
Trisha?
Mm-hmm. He came home, like, the first weekend that he was home. He was a little teeny tiny puppy, you know, he was like 1 pound, and she was holding him, and he fell down in her shirt.
So he got a taste.
Yeah, and he was like literally ripping her top off.
Oh my God.
Having the time of his life in there, and she was just laughing, and I was like, it's all downhill from here. And it has been. She changed his life.
So you're thinking about not having any more. You're hoping you don't have any more.
I think it'll be a while before we ever get Uno a husband, if we ever get Uno a husband. So it could legit be over.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you pair miniature dachshunds together. You were telling me that there are certain kinds of miniature dachshunds that can't mate together, otherwise the offspring becomes
You can have issues. Yeah,
issues
like Dapples, like Pig and Bella would be a no-go because they would have a double dapple, and then they could have issues with blindness or deafness and stuff like that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So double dapples are a no-go. I think there's a couple other mixes that are out there that, you know, I probably should know about, but we don't have.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, we were thinking about utilizing Pig as a stud.
Yeah.
But that would have been, it's just so much work.
And see, that's what I consider breeding, because you're studying out a dog or assisting in the process of breeding. We don't assist.
You just do it from the comfort of your own home.
I just don't do anything at all. Literally. It's no work until the babies are born. And then it is round the clock work. Yeah.
So you don't fix them until
4 litters.
4 litters.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that stance.
I just think 4 is enough. My mother-in-law had 4. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's a family.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
But we're not talking about people. We're talking about dogs. It's the same thing. Okay.
No, I mean, if you research it, it's, you know, most people don't want.
just too
Most
much?
vets would tell you not to.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think the more litters a dog has, the more prone they are to cancer, cervical and whatnot that goes on. So
Okay, see, that makes more sense.
yeah, more complications and stuff like that. So I mean, I just don't like risking it. I mean, my dogs are my dogs. They're not breeders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're still my babies. So
We waited too long, I think, to do pigs.
fixins.
Yeah,
Why?
to neuter him. Well, he had complications during the
Really?
surgery, yeah. Like blew up and everything, and he had to...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he
He
had
had like a swollen ball.
Yeah,
didn't he?
he did. Yeah, it was really disgusting.
I bet.
And that poor dog, we had to put him on so many different medications. He was so pathetic.
Poor
He was
guy.
such a little pathetic little boy. Oh my God, it was traumatizing because we had to he couldn't go anywhere because he would
Yeah.
have hurt himself.
Yeah.
So we had to either drug him with the stuff that they gave us so he would just kind of like chill.
Yeah.
Because it's a dachshund and he just wants to run all the time.
Yep.
And so he had to wear his little cone. We had to get a special made cone that was soft. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, he was just in his cage and just like, it was awful.
Poor guy.
It was awful. But apparently
What
that
do you
happens.
think's gonna happen when Rojito Bandito loses them? We're
I'm
gonna
sure
snip them
it's
suckers off.
apparently rare, but it
Yeah.
happens. But
God,
yeah,
he's gonna be real sad.
he'll probably be the same dog though. I was afraid that he would kind of just be chilled out after a while after losing his testosterone.
Yeah.
But nope, he still runs around constantly, wanting to throw the ball, wanting to play, wanting to just 24/7. Can't
Yeah.
get anything done because
Yeah.
if the ball must be thrown.
He's very busy. You don't get it.
I don't.
You don't get it.
I don't get it. But that's why he's so stocky because he's always just running all the time.
It's what they do. They're crazy.
Yeah, and I take him to throw. I take him outside to throw the ball and stuff. To make sure that he doesn't get pudgy.
He needs to come meet the goats.
No, he doesn't like babies. Come to find out, like
Really?
actual human babies.
Ooh, maybe he sees them as a threat.
Maybe that is possible.
What's your stance on baby making?
What's my stance on baby making?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah?
I'm not opposed to it.
Still open to the idea.
Still open to the idea.
We're getting old, you know.
Gotta dot some I's and cross some T's, but because the biggest issue I have is like we don't have that big of a support structure. Like I don't have family out here.
Right.
Ashley has her mom.
Yeah.
But that's essentially it, and so like, us both working, her mom working, and us not. The money's always an issue
course.
with a baby and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that we're, set, good to go, have a forever home in place first, at least.
Right.
At least that's the way I want to think about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So have you thought about ever being like 65 and going, I wish I'd have done it?
No.
Don't think even if that happens, you won't look back and regret it.
I say no regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm just.
You guys are living that dink life.
Yeah.
You know?
I love our life right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Dual income, no kids.
Dual income, no kids.
Dink life.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Dual income, no kids, and we're living a comfortable life right now. I mean, yeah, everyone has their not issues, but like, we're not millionaires or anything. I mean, we're not like, we don't have 2 Lamborghinis out in the front yard or anything, but
I don't even know what
it's
I'd
a
do
comfortable
with a
life. We have meaning, we have goals, and
Boom.
we're,
Mic drop.
yeah, and we're
Right.
going to complete those goals. And I think that's a good spot to end on. It's been about an hour and a half.
All right.
And I appreciate you coming down
course.
and being on the podcast. And then
Yes.
eventually it'll
Thank
be.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for not talking about video games. I was really scared we were going to have to talk about video games.
No. I only talk about video games when people want to talk about video games.
I don't know anything about them.
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on this new game called Days Gone? No, I'm just kidding. But thank you for coming.
Yes.
I'm glad we finally were able to sit down and talk about your life and realty and everything.
Yes.
You're an inspiration
Aw.
to people who want to find a dream and stick to it and make it into a job.
I hope so. If I'll leave a note that if you are interested in going out and doing something on your own, the Steve Harvey talk on the Jump, I think is what it's called, the video. I was trying to think of the name of it. Yeah, just Google Jump by Steve Harvey, and that video is literally what changed my life. What made me quit my Fortune 500 job and do this.
All right. Well, okay. Well, where can people find you? Tag yourself. What is the website?
My website is yourdestinationfinders.com, and obviously I'm on Instagram and Facebook, April Harrington.
All right. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Shane.